Welcome to the Austin Business News Podcast. I'm Tina Cannon, your host and CEO of the Austin LGBT Chamber of Commerce. On today's pod, we're going to talk local business news, and in the headlines this week, Austin's growth plan, Austin's air traffic controller shortage, and new small business data is out. We'll be right back. Hello, podcast world. I'm joined with just Amy and Fiona today. How are y'all doing?
Hello there. Happy new week following an exciting weekend.
It was exciting for some. There was much activity this weekend for some.
Yes, if anybody watched the news at all.
I avoided it. I avoided the news. I mean, I got a few alerts every now and then, so I knew what was happening around.
Yeah.
But mental health is
helpful.
it's really helpful.
Sometimes unplugging is really helpful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sometimes showing up is helpful, but yeah, you got to do what's right for like where you are in your headspace. And
Yeah, I definitely cocooned a little bit this weekend.
Yeah.
And my phone was blowing up. Like, where are you? 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 I'm like, bitch, where were you all of legislation when I was on the steps like every week?
Exactly.
But yeah, I had to take a break from the rallying.
Yeah.
It was great. Good turnouts everywhere. Well done using your voice, America.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
It's all important. I think it's important for everybody to do their bit, and that can look different at different times, can't it? Like, I think it's great for people to protest, and then also it's great for people to take a rest and take a break.
Absolutely.
You know?
And there's still loads of conversation to be had about it.
Yeah.
So
It's always
I
going
was
to keep going.
definitely a part of those huge text threads where I was being blown up. But this weekend, I opted to just do like the girlfriend thing. I just kind of went out with my girls on Saturday night and caught Chaparral. They were down in Martindale, so I went to a little tiny town concert and then reclused the rest of the weekend.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I did a favor for a friend we know and love, Becky Arriaga, and so she has this gorgeous swimming pool, and there's this app that I just recently learned about called Swimply.
Swimply.
Swimp with a P.
Yeah, that's insane.
And so she had like 3 Swimplies and she couldn't be home, so I babysat her house while people came and partied in her swimming pool.
Isn't that wild?
Isn't
What
it?
concept?
It was so cool.
Were they good people? Were they
thankfully
responsible?
good. Like, there was one, like the second group. There were 3 groups total. The second group, I was a little bit worried because it was like 10 minutes before the end, and they looked like they were still like partying their asses off in the swimming pool. Thinking, oh God, am I going to have to be the Auntie Fiona that goes out and tells them to clean up?
Do you sit up on the patio with like a 5-minute paddle that you just raise?
I think you should get a lifeguard stand. I mean, you might as well just sit out there with your little life-saving device and your little red onesie with a whistle. And then, like, you're like, I don't swim. Oh, sorry, you're all adults. It was great. Oh, man.
Like magic, they just, like, cleared up and they were gone, and, like, they were clearly buzzed. Like, there's one guy that booked it, Ethan. He was like, tell Becky I said hello. I'm so sorry to miss her. He's never met Becky before in his life.
That's really
Really sweet.
Yeah, it's a cool concept.
And so I feel like it's great to be protesting and people to experience joy so that we can put out this loving, kind, positive energy.
Hey, I know. As gloom and doom as it is, we still have first world problems of making sure that we're out of the pool by a certain time.
Oh my gosh. Well, we have a lot to get to today, so let's take a look at one of the first headlines. Austin's growth plan, smarter jobs, real opportunity, and a city that works for everyone. Austin is rethinking how it grows. This time, it's going to focus on making sure prosperity doesn't leave half the city behind. City leaders are backing a new data-driven strategy that links job creation with equitable development, workforce training, and smarter use of public incentives. The goal, build a stronger, more inclusive economy that serves all Austinites, not just the ones with tech salaries and college degrees. Here's the data that lit the fire. From 2015 to 2021, 84% of new jobs in Austin went to people with bachelor degree or higher. That means the overwhelming majority of the working class residents weren't getting the access to the city job boom. So Austin is flipping the script. Strategy includes focusing on job centers, specific areas with infrastructure, transit access, redevelopment potential. These are place-based expansions aimed to connect people with opportunity where they already lived, not 20 miles across town. And the focus isn't just on chasing the next shiny headquarters. It's about boosting industries like advanced manufacturing, life sciences, and the creative sector. Industries with solid wages and strong career paths that don't require a 4-year degree. The city is also expanding its business expansion program, which offers targeted incentives to companies that create good-paying jobs and commit to equitable goals like hiring and sustainability. In tandem, the city's Workforce Development Academy is gearing up to provide residents with skills that they need to access these jobs, especially in historically underrepresented communities. Council members were very clear, saying if we are going to grow, we're going to grow in the right way, meaning living wages, anti-displacement protections, and jobs that don't just go to newcomers. It's a strategy rooted in place, people, and long-term payoff, not just headlines. The bottom line, Austin isn't just creating more jobs, it's creating better ones in the right places for the people who need it most. It's economic development with a heart and a spreadsheet. Austin Monitor has a ton of details on each of these programs if you wanted to find out more.
Yay! This is one of the reasons why I love this city.
It is really great. Yeah. It's fascinating to me, like my young friends who are wrapping up their college degrees at Texas State, and most of my friends
Eat 'em up, cats.
Yeah, go to Texas State. I don't know many who are at UT, but it's funny, like if you're passionate about what you want to do with your life at that age, and these are like, you know, the 5-year plan college students where they're 22 years old and they're leaving college. And Texas State has that wonderful like water protection program.
Okay.
And then so you leave with all this student debt. And
that sounds fun.
And most of the jobs that you enter are nonprofit sector.
Oh, great.
So it's kind of
You'll have forever debt.
It's so backwards to me, but yeah, this is a really great way to like take maybe what you have already learned and get a little bit of experience in nonprofit and still have some kind of continued education to apply it elsewhere. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, the Infrastructure Academy is a big piece of this.
Yeah.
Being able to train folks in kind of the more blue collar, if you will, type jobs that are building Austin's future. So there's plenty of work to do, and those are great paying jobs. I mean, a welder coming out of certification could make like $60,000 to $70,000.
Oh, yeah. Can you imagine like applying that technical side of training? So let's say welding or plumbing or what have you, where you have to dam off some of the San Marcos River, the Frio River, and also having the biology sciences behind it. And the how to. I think this is a great way to be a powerhouse, Central Texas region. Yeah, we're crushing it.
Yeah. So the people that you were just mentioning, how many of them really know what they want to do with their lives at that point? You know, in your early 20s.
I think the younger gens do know what they want to do.
Yeah.
A little bit more so because I think we've taught them that you don't have to be doctor, lawyer, teacher.
Yeah.
It's like, and you're choosing your college career path based off of salary at the end.
Yeah.
Which is what I went into it to begin with. And then I was like, no, I'm passionate about teaching. And then you look at the salary that you're going to earn at the end of it and you're like, oh no.
Yeah.
I'm going to need to diversify my tool belt a little bit.
That's why I always tell young people to do what they're good at.
Yeah.
Not what they're passionate about.
Yeah.
Your passion is your joy.
Right.
And so if you're good at, I don't know, carpentry, be a carpenter. But then if your passion is teaching young people, then figure out a way to blend the two.
Yeah. Teach carpentry.
It's funny you say that because I don't want to like toot my own horn, but toot. When I went into university, I wanted to be an architect. I was told, no way in hell, you're not doing it.
I was told that girls are not architects. That's
I was
what
told athletes aren't going to do it. So anyway, I took that, had this wild, crazy career path, ended up in construction. So got my trade skills, went into the corporate empire, and then was a trainer as a teacher.
See?
And was also part of the initiation and development of the DE&I council. So all my passions kind of came back together, where on my college path, I was also in social sciences. But anyway, it is like a 20-year discovery of how to blend it all together, but just keep like educating yourself. I will be a lifelong student
Yes.
Absolutely.
What did you want to be, Fiona, when you were growing up?
I wanted to be Princess Diana.
Shut
Oh,
up.
I love that. Me too. But I wasn't English.
No, I wanted to go into art. Like at the end of high school in the UK, you had A levels. I think they still have A levels, and so I had to think about what to do at university. And my dad is a retired doctor, so I kind of wanted to be a doctor, but I knew I wasn't smart enough, and so I really did actually want to go do fine art and go to get an art degree. But Dad didn't think I'd make enough money because I wasn't good enough. So he ended up.
Oh no! And then you look all along Austin.
So I went into psychology, which I've got no regrets at all. My bachelor's is in psychology, and now I feel like in various forms and fashions, what I'm doing in the world is very artistic and creative as well. Anyway, but
yeah.
There's a great quote by Howard Thurman that says, "Ask not what the world needs, ask what makes you feel alive and go do it." Because what the world needs are people doing things that make them feel alive. So
I agree.
I really believe in like finding that ikigai and that combination of what you're passionate about, what you're good at, and then I guess how it makes money, which is unfortunately the last thing I think about.
Unfortunately.
Nothing will like peel back and unravel until you get a little bit of experience. Like your undergrad,
Yeah, agreed.
to me, and this is just my opinion, your undergrad means nothing until you start building out your resume.
Yeah. Your undergrad is basically the shit you should have learned in high school that you didn't pay attention to.
100%. It is like a sense of accomplishment. Like, look, you've shown discipline that you can get your degree. Great. It ain't going to teach you shit.
Yeah.
Sorry. It's like you can learn all that just by reading.
Both my boys, they didn't attend college. They read every book that there was to read and were very much self-taught, and they're both in the, tech space and doing quite well for themselves. But it's different for everybody's learning style. And honestly, I think when you look at like how AI is going to impact, right? Google right now is doing a quiet layoff, right? It was just in the papers the other day. They're doing some quiet layoffs because AI is taking some of these positions that would take somebody normally a couple of days to do. Now AI can do it in 3 or 4 minutes. So the key is, as folks are deciding what their career path is, like these infrastructure academies, these types of hands-on jobs, these are jobs that are never going to be replaced by AI.
No.
It's really going to be difficult to have some robot lay down a sidewalk.
Yeah.
Conceptually it's possible, but it's not actually possible.
The mechanical man, we need that, you need the hands and the digits to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Austin's air traffic controller shortage, stress, delays, and a whole lot of holding patterns. If you have flown out of Austin lately and you feel like the plane was stuck in a never-ending episode of Groundhog Day, well, you're not imagining things. ABIA is in the middle of a full-blown air traffic controller shortage, and it's starting to hit travelers right where it hurts in the itinerary. Controllers are working overtime, not metaphorically, but literally 6 days a week, marathon shifts, and pressure's so high you think they were landing planes blindfolded. The FAA runs the tower, not the city. So local officials are basically stuck waving flags from the sidelines, yelling, "Help!" And help is definitely needed. Austin's air traffic demand is climbing faster than a jetliner, but the total controller headcount, not so much. The result, ground delay programs. Translation, your flight may be on hold for the rest of the tarmac and other cities because Austin Tower just can't handle the heat. In May, we saw at least 2 of the FAA impose slowdowns, and summer travel hasn't even hit full throttle. So if you're planning to head out for a beach weekend or a long overdue European escape, maybe pack some patience and snacks. City leaders are sounding the alarms to the feds, pointing to rising delays and unnerving increase in national near-miss incidents as a reason for immediate action. Because while ABIA is owned by the city, the FAA controls the controller pipeline. And right now, that pipeline is more drip than flow. Bottom line, Austin is booming. Our airport is soaring and growing, but the tower is running on fumes. FAA needs to step it up before your 3-hour direct to Denver turns into 6-hour wait for Wheels Up, because nothing says welcome to Austin like waiting to get here.
So is Austin City's Workforce Development Academy having a program to train controllers?
Oh my God.
Is that our solution
Yeah,
with this?
that's a little more specialized, isn't it? This is, man, it's such an in-depth program.
I was at one of our airline partners, I won't say which one, their massive control room a couple of months back, maybe a year ago.
That sounds exciting.
And they had, they had like 60, 70 people just in the weather section that were monitoring, like day trader type monitors of weather patterns all over the globe, and then having to like deal with. So like that's even just one tiny piece of it. I couldn't imagine. I've seen movies, of air traffic controllers losing their shit. But
Because it's just like that.
yeah, I figure it probably is a lot like that. Art imitating life, but it's a stressful industry and it's nonstop.
Oh, it looks. Oh, yeah. I couldn't do it.
I would imagine like flight school. I have a friend that's been doing hours to become a pilot and former flight attendant. Now she wants to be up front. And I think it's fantastic. That, and you like double it to be air traffic control.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean,
you do have a lot more lives at risk than
You
just
do.
the ones on your flight.
Because it's not just one plane. It's like
and like
10.
redirecting and okay, you have to like monitor fuel levels of each plane if somebody has to stay in the air because you have to get somebody down. It's like you've got to choose. You are kind of playing plane god, where it's like you need to hold. This one's gonna land. It's an emergency. That one's not taking off. Clear the
feels
tarmac.
like a great place for AI to come into play.
Maybe.
Where, not totally, but where AI at least helps them, and maybe it already does.
High risk analysis.
Right, it helps them kind of triage, like what's the order flow.
Yep.
And then they still have to make a human decision
Yeah.
and look out a window.
I imagine that is already happening.
That's what I was
right?
going to say. Yeah, I imagine that it is already part of the mechanisms.
Yeah.
But you don't really have time to fact check.
And then you got
No.
like a rogue pilot that's like, screw it, I'm coming in.
I think that does happen.
It does.
Though. Like I don't know if this was a joke, but there was some video that came
Probably
out,
Spirit
and they were like,
Airlines.
you're not clear to leave," and they're like, "We're leaving,"
Yeah.
because one, they have so many hours that they can be in the air, right? And I think they were sitting forever, and they're like, "We're out of here."
I remember this.
Take it up.
No,
Take
someone
it up with my
bypassed.
airline. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was a
figure
joke,
that
but I was
out?
like, this can't be real.
Sounds
we
like a
did.
Spirit Airlines move.
No. We heard this story, and I wonder where it was. No, but
Yeah.
someone decided just to bypass the whole queue
Yep.
and just go take
They're
off.
like, "Nope, we're out of here. Bye."
I mean, there are assholes everywhere.
Do you remember when we were trying to make AUS happen, like fetch? I wish Colton was here because he would get that
Yeah,
reference.
no. Sorry, I got nothing for you there.
flew over my head.
AUS, ABIA, AUS. Everybody wanted. Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah, 'cause
don't
it's-
call it ABIA anymore. It's AUS.
Because I think all the airports are a 3-letter designation. So like when you go to book a flight, it's a 3-letter designation. But we have forever called
Okay.
it, since it moved there, AIBA, ABIA, whatever.
Austin
The airport.
International Airport.
I know when I'm booking flights, I always get confused between like the IAH, which is Houston,
Yep.
isn't it? And then I think it's the Washington DC, not DCA, but the other airport in Washington.
But it's some of them, like the old good ones, like if you grew up in Houston, you still call it intercontinental or hobby. You don't call it IAH. It's like, are you doing hobby or intercontinental?
Yeah.
And then
Or
like
Bush.
or flying into Newark. Like you don't say
Right.
right. I don't know.
I don't even know what it's called. It's Newark.
Yeah.
It's NW.
I'm sure it has a 3-letter.
No, it's not. It's E.
What's that?
It's E. Newark is E something.
Oh,
yeah.
I would never call it that. Dumb. Like it's always been Newark. Like, oh, I'm flying to New York, and it's like, oh, are you flying into Newark or are you flying into JFK?
Same. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, a small business, are they smiling despite Uncle Sam's mood swings? They may not have the massive lobbyist or $1 million checks for time with POTUS, but they do have grit, guts, and a workforce that shows up. And somehow, despite tariffs, taxes, and economic whiplash to make a chiropractor rich, they are still feeling cautiously optimistic. A recent survey shows that small business optimism is up for the second straight month. Sure, it's below the 50-year average, but in this economy, it's like finding a parking spot on South Congress during South by Southwest. Basically a miracle. It's not just blind hope. Hiring plans are up, and more owners are expecting stronger sales. Translation, small businesses are still betting on themselves and their teams, even while D.C. debates how much more expensive it should be to import, well, just about anything. Yes, there is anxiety about GOP's latest tax plan, which critics say favors the Mar-a-Lago set while leaving Main Street wondering if they're being punked. And yes, Tariffs threaten to jack up prices on everything from tools to toasters. But these entrepreneurs aren't waiting for a bailout. They are building, hiring, and adapting because they don't have time not to. The labor market, meanwhile, continues to hold its ground. Workers have leverage. Wages are up. Small businesses are doing their best to meet people where they are, offering flexibility, training, and jobs with actual purpose. It's not perfect. It's progress. And it's being powered by the people who still believe that work matters. Bottom line, America runs on the small business hustle. They're not delusional. They're determined. And while Wall Street obsesses over AI, tax rates, and tax breaks for the 1%, Main Street is quietly getting shit done. Hats off to them.
Love this. Yeah. I mean, as somebody who also has a small business / growing empire, and being the certification, like the LGBT business certification, and then also disability certified and woman owned. Like in the last couple of years, I got to meet so many small businesses, small and medium-sized businesses, and they feel like family, you know. And I think I can just imagine that, you know, the grit that it takes to be able to like lean in and grow your business despite what headlines and wins are coming your way. So,
yeah, I think it's also a sense of like when I talk to folks and who are small business in rural towns, we're so thick in it. Like we are monitoring this heavily as a chamber.
Sure.
Right. So I think it's kind of a little bliss and being naive to what's going on. And what they are most concerned about is local stuff. So like if you're carrying THC products, they're and that if that accounts for 10% of your sales currently, you got to figure out how to make that up somewhere. But with the tariffs, I think they're just seeing invoices coming in and they're not really worried about, I don't know, the pricing going up. They just kind of adjust.
Yeah. And that adjustment goes on to the consumer. And at some point, the consumer will decide, yep, that's too much.
Yeah. Hopefully it's not items that are like, I mean, if they're high dollar items, but if we're talking, you know, it goes up by $1 or, 50 cents. Yeah. Maybe you won't feel it so much as a business owner if you've got like a small brick and mortar retail. But I don't know. It seems like everyone's still in pretty good spirits so far, considering the chaos.
And we'll see the real impact of the tariffs toward the fall and winter months because they haven't quite. The invoices that are coming in now from prior orders aren't being tagged as heavy. Yeah. But, there's also a lot of noise in politics right now, and mainly to kind of divert everybody's attention to the fact that his tariff should have gone into effect by now. This was it's like
magic eye.
The counting down from 3 when your mom was like pissed off at you. But he's like on 1. No, I really mean it. It's 1.
0.7.
So the massive amounts of tariffs have not gone into effect into majority of the countries that he was talking about with the big pops.
Well, especially like the decision to stop going into farms to
because those are red states.
Those
are red states. You can't mess with those.
Oh my god,
man! Oh man! Oh man!
It's really, I think, whoever talks to him last, then he's like, all right, I'll do that.
It's and to that point where with ranchers and red states and everything that has gone on with ranching and the lockdowns and stuff. And you talk to some of these ranchers who voted a certain way, and they just are. Some of them are not ready to admit that it's hitting their wallet.
Yeah.
So I'm like, so how's it going raising all that cattle?
Yeah.
And what happens now?
What happens to your crop that nobody's buying because we shut off all the foreign aid that you used to sell it into?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
Kicked out your workforce.
I know.
Yeah,
but that's what
yeah.
Again, like they're going to place the blame somewhere else. Oh, this is all trickle down effect from
the other guy.
Yeah. And I'm like, yeah. I mean, let's just play a few clips for you. Okay. While I've got you here, I'm going to get my phone out and here's what's going on the Hill. Yeah. They're actively talking about this, making decisions. So anyhow,
it is that ignorant bliss that is so wonderful sometimes.
Yeah.
Well, let's roll into something a bit more fun and light. Fun facts with Fiona.
Yay! I was so excited when I found this one. So Y'all, here's a little slice of joy from deep in the heart of Texas. My favorite place. So this summer in San Antonio, something pretty extraordinary is happening. A gay city council member is taking parental leave and being covered by a transgender man. So, council member Jalen McGee Rodriguez, who made history as the first openly gay man elected to San Antonio City Council, is about to become a dad. Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing.
So he and his husband are welcoming a baby, and Jalen's stepping away for a couple of months to be a full-time caregiver. And so then this bit is the extra level of history-making part. The council just appointed Leo Castillo Anguiano, a 26-year-old advocate, as his temporary replacement. So that makes Leo the first openly trans man to serve on the council, and likely the first in Texas. So yes, in 2025 in San Antonio, Texas, we've got a gay dad taking parental leave and a trans man stepping into city leadership. Now, what more could you find a story that exudes queer joy, family, and representation in action?
Yes,
Isn't that cool?
And a happy belated Father's Day.
Yes, happy belated Father's Day.
Oh, that's really sweet.
I love this because it's like
San Antonio?
in San Antonio, Texas. Like, so I think this helps destigmatize us Texans.
Yes, and with everything going on in San Antonio right now, good grief. Like a little bit of the other side, joy and the other side of things. Yeah, this is good. This is a win for humanity, I think, for sure.
Yeah.
Because, family matters.
It's the gay agenda.
Family matters. Yeah. We're not going to talk about any kind of kidnapping. Oh, man.
Oh, that's great. I love that.
That's real sweet. And
yeah,
so close
that's
to
so
us.
fun.
I love that. It's so close
just
to
down
us.
the street. Yeah.
Yeah, and they just elected a gay mayor.
No, I was about to say Mayor. I think she's let me look her up.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. No,
It is
Gina
gay mayor.
Ortiz?
No, it is Mayor. Yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yep.
I couldn't remember if she was
Austin or San Antonio is
Coming up in the ranks, y'all.
Yeah, we may have
Very
to
queer.
pick up our chamber and go check out San Antonio one of these afternoons.
What do you think will be called when the corridor is officially merged?
So I hope we're called ASA, the way it's DFW, Dallas Fort Worth.
Okay.
I hope it's Austin, San Antonio, ASA.
Yeah.
Mainly because I bought a shit ton of URLs.
Of course you did. Good grief. Yeah.
It's pennies on the dollar. So yeah,
Okay.
I hope we be called ASA. But on that note, too, did you know that our chamber has roughly 475 business members, everyone from Apple and Amazon, and the big players, to small mom and mom or pop and pops, along with all of our allied members. So, Amy, give us a little update on what's happening on the member side.
Okay, a little different this time, but welcome. We have one new member. Welcome to the chamber, Vanity Fire Photo. Brand new member. Welcome. Can't wait to hear what you're all about and schedule that ribbon cutting. But this time we're going to go through some renewals since it's Pride Month and we're still here. Big time hitters. Thank you to our sponsors, JustWorks, ACL Live, KUT, and some renewals with HDR and Rifeline, Texas Mutual, Visa, and thank you, Philip Morris International.
Woo.
So thank you, core partners, for renewing in Pride Month. So we have some other renewals that I'm going to shout out here real quick. 5+ year member, Zen Business. 5+ year member, Cicada Lighting. Thank you for coming back to the chamber. Purple Fig. And normally we would not do this, but I am going to give a shout out to a special gentleman in the area who's a former board member of ours, individual member. So we do have individual memberships. If you do not own a business, come talk to us. But Richard Siegel, happy 13th anniversary with the chamber. Yeah.
Yay.
And you might have seen Richard on TV. So
Yay.
Yes, he's a local broadcast meteorologist. He's also a voice of some of the Lady Longhorn games. He's got that deep, rich voice.
So, yeah, big. Our renewals are what help us keep the needle moving forward as well. So, thank you so much for your support. It's been a wackadoodle year, and we really appreciate you hanging with us and engaging. These are big time engaging members as well that I've shouted out. So we love seeing them at luncheons and happy hours and all that we do.
And where can people find a full list of members?
On our directory, Austin LGBTchamber.com, and hit the directory tab.
Lovely, lovely. And while you're on that website, it is obviously Pride Month, and we have a gazillion events. There's no shortage of ways to get involved, both from chamber specific, and then our chamber members can also post their events online. So Fiona, run us through the events and be a good Colton impersonator.
Oh gosh, I don't think I could possibly do Colton. Happy Pride, everybody. So yes, a billion events. So June 25th, we have another edition of Getting to Know the Austin LGBT Chamber. So Amy and I will be hosting online sessions so you can learn about how to get involved. On June 26th, we've got the Pride Health Fair at the Long Centre with a number of different chamber members participating as well. So that's Thursday, June 26th. June 28th, we have the Pride Picnic at Pease Park, and our dear friends and chamber members and former board members, co-chairs Gary and Noel are leading the charge. So we're excited for that. There will be activations and crafts and a book swap with a little gay shop and music and food, and Tina and I sweating ourselves.
Yes.
Sweating yourself. Sweating your tits off.
Okay, there you go. So we will be there, and we would love to see you there. And then looking ahead, are you registered for the intercity trip to Seattle? Tina has been leading that and creating an incredible event. Early bird pricing ends July 1st, so don't miss the chance to save $350 and get a Delta travel voucher. So looking forward to intercity. And then we have a number of billion events, from our members. So this week, June 18th, the Ken Point Montopolis groundbreaking. So this is Austin's first LGBTQIA2S+, affirming affordable housing community for our 55 plus neighbors. And then this event is very near and dear to my heart. It's hosted by our members Dawson, and it's how to create an inclusive event and best practices. And they're specifically going to be educating us around ASL. And so there will be interpretation on that call as well. We have a soccer team, a soccer game with Austin Rise on the 20th. On the 21st, we have ENAB Labs presents Mocktail Mixology 101. I have bought a ticket to that, by the way, how to make non-alcoholic cocktails. And then we have the Long Centre drop-in throughout the month. We've got Austin Playhouse presenting Fat Ham, which is a Pulitzer Prize-winning modern revamp of Hamlet. Oh my God, I need a break.
It'll be July soon.
The City of Cedar Park just made their Pride proclamation, so that's awesome. We've got Pride Summer Market at Out Wellness. We have a Pride brunch every Sunday at Verbana. Rainbow Happy Hour with the Austin Rainbow Theatre. This one is really cute that I just learned about. Sip, Sit and Stay. So if you like dogs, or you've got a dog,
I like dogs.
There's a doggy fashion show on the 22nd. And it includes nail trimming and special drinks and food. And then you've got Austin Pride Toastmasters on the 24th, which is the same night as Rainbow Hour, a queer arts meetup at Oil Can Harry's. And then, oh my God, what are you doing out in Lockhart?
We have a whole
Seriously.
last week of events because it is our Pride Week, and I will be moderating a panel. Just
there you go.
Get on the member calendar.
What date are you doing that?
Oh God,
the panel.
I think it's Thursday or Wednesday.
Okay.
It's Pride Month, Fiona.
So
take each day as it comes.
Okay. So starting on the 21st and ending on the 28th, you've got a Pride Walk and the Rocky Horror Picture Show. You've got an adult social. You've got a queer Q&A. I bet you're doing that one.
That's it. The 25th.
And then you've got live music, a dance party with DJ Boy Orbison, and then a drag talent contest.
Yes, the Pride Walk is a lot of fun. PFLAG, which I president in Caldwell County as well. We're hosting a golf cart parade, but also wagons, strollers, and bicycles are welcome. So
There's a lot happening.
And you're
that week.
participating in that, right?
Yeah, well, I'm kind of hosting that piece, but it's the first time, so we're going to see how it goes.
Okay. And then the final event to tell you about, even though go to our website and learn more, Le Ballet Trocadero. It's a Trocadero, sorry. That's how we say it in England.
Yeah. Blame it on that.
Lies. So we've got a drag ballet, and we know that this is Tina's favorite thing.
Can't wait.
We will be there.
Ballet, yay!
You are gonna love this so much.
I probably will.
You are gonna love it. You're gonna be a believer. You're gonna be a convert. I can't wait.
Before we sign off, though, I do want to make sure that we get Gina Ortiz-Jones is the current mayor of San Antonio.
Lovely.
Okay, and she's taking office June 18th, which is this month, Pride Month, and she is the first Asian American female mayor of a major Texas city. She's the first openly gay mayor of San Antonio, and she's the first Texas female mayor with prior wartime military service.
Oh, no way.
She's a veteran of the Air Force.
She is a veteran.
So she's a complete freaking badass, and she's another queer fun fact for our podcast.
Did you say she's our second? What? Openly gay?
No, first. Well, no, first.
Second.
First Asian American female mayor of a Texas.
Right.
Texas city.
Yeah.
Like she's not the first female mayor because that was Anise Parker.
That was Anise, yeah.
But this is the first Asian American female mayor of a major Texas city. First openly gay mayor of San Antonio.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Lovely.
And then she also is a veteran. So yes, I felt like we didn't. It was necessary to lift her up on this.
Yeah, she's checking a lot of boxes there too with diversity, which I love.
When she probably just happens to be a badass.
Powerhouse. Yeah.
Yeah, Anise is running for county judge in
Harris.
In Harris, yeah. So she's coming back into the fold to
Harris County is massive.
It is pretty massive, but she's got a great reputation down there, and I hope she does really well.
Yeah, let's hope so.
Well, that was a ton of events.
That was a lot.
Folks can always check out the calendar for a full list, but June is exceptionally large. Never a shortage of things to do, things to sweat and be a part of. So, as always, we thank you for joining us. If you want to learn more about becoming a chamber member or chamber events, visit us at AustinLGBTChamber.com. If you want to be a guest or a sponsor, email us at info@AustinLGBTChamber.com. Listen to our show every Tuesday wherever you get your podcast. Be sure to follow us. Thanks, and we'll talk to you next week.